All right, we're live, eh?
I think so.
All right. Welcome, everyone. This is a very special live stream from Liberty Multimedia. It's just past 4:20 on Wednesday, October 17th, 2018. This is a day that's going to be known throughout Canada for quite a long time. I wasn't even sure if it was going to happen, Pascal. Weed is now legal in Canada, sort of. That's pretty cool.
I remember when I was a young gentleman, the age of 15, and I had a certain older gentleman who, I look up to and stuff like that tell me weed is never going to be legal. It's never going to be legal, but today's the day. It's finally happened, and it's something where it's just like, it's not like it's a big deal. I don't think
it's a big deal.
Well, I to the people that smoke dope every day like I do, I don't see the big sort of, it's nice. It'll be nice to walk down the street and not fear that I'm going to be arrested because I have something that, is grown in the ground and then dried and then rolled up into a nice little joint like this. But why am I fucking around, Marconi?
time to light up the first legal joint, eh? I really didn't think this day was going to come. I mean, I know you voted for Trudeau because of this one issue, and he's been a disaster. But hey, he held on to his weed legalization promise, and now people can possess up to 30 grams anywhere in the country, and then unlimited possession at home in most provinces. There are a few actually that have home limits still. I was checking it out. Saskatchewan, 30-gram limit at home. BC, oddly enough, is still 1,000 grams. You can have 1,000 grams at home. Don't even think about going 1,001 grams at home, you fucking criminal. I'm gonna be watching that too. So,
yeah, I just always like the fact. I guess my whole thing with when dope was illegal, I found the issue of what if you lose access to be able to get it, right? Like that was the one thing that I really worried about.
Well, that's it too, right? I mean,
accessibility.
When you have to get it illegally, you got to go through sketchy drug dealers sometimes, and that's not always the most pleasant experience in the world. I was looking up prices too, but what they're going to be charging for weed across the country, and it really ranges like anywhere from $6 a gram to up to $16 a gram in or is that in New Brunswick? They're going to have it for $16 a gram. So depending where you're at, don't tell off your drug dealer just yet, because you might still be best off.
Quite honestly, I'm not going to pay $20 from what I've seen for a pre-roll joint. It's not going to fucking happen. There's no fucking way that I do that. No fucking way.
How can a guy that smokes weed be so angry? Eh? What about the right setting? Concert? I'd pay $20 for a pre-roll joint.
If it was if it's about accessibility and not being able
like
to
this one. Yeah,
no, that's
makes me feel like an inferior band right there.
you should feel that way, Marconi.
You fucking wish. You fucking wish.
But no, I wouldn't pay that much, and you can never guarantee the quality of it too. So now people are going to be able to go in stores and kind of shop around, at least if there's a spot where there's actually like a store available, not every place has a store. And I hear that at least the spots for Northern Alberta, they're not going to have stores right away. That's according to the CBC. I don't know if they even fucking know what's going on in this region or not. I'll find out tonight at the open house.
Yeah, I think it varies from province to province. I think in Alberta, they are allowing private retailers to open it up. In Ontario, for instance, though, they're doing it just like the LCBO, where they're allowing the government to have a monopoly on all storefront sales of marijuana. Yeah, so Dylan's checking out the live.
Shout out to Dylan Bowker.
Shout out to Dylan Bowker. How's it going, buddy? Wish you could be here.
Bowk's talking bouts.
Just send me a text. Make sure it sounds okay, because we're kind of testing the audio and whatnot. We went live.
Well, this is a first too for us. We want to do more of these shows. Well. And what a time to start right before Marconi goes to Thailand. But we should still be able to figure out video shows.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there too. Well, weed finally becomes legal in Canada, and I'm taking off for Thailand next month, where it's like 10 years in a Thai prison if you get caught for it. So that's all right though. I'm due for a little stretch off. So 2.5 months, I'm not going to be smoking any weed at all.
There's a guy I used to live with. and he used to go on these things called tolerance breaks. And I could just think, I'm like, you fucking faggot.
One thing I did want to mention though, I'm talking about 10 years in prison though, not out of the woods just yet. So under the new legislation passed in June, police can conduct roadside saliva tests for drivers they suspect to be under the influence of drugs. So how drivers are treated depends on how much THC is found in their blood and in your blood. So for anyone that's a non-weed smoker, THC is a psychoactive ingredient in weed. So if you get tested between 2 and 5 nanograms in your blood, you're looking at a fine of up to $1,000.
I'll tell you, ever since I quit smoking cigarettes like 4 years ago, I think it was because cigarettes coated your lungs with like a tarry like shield, we'll call it, and it protected your lungs from smoke when you smoke joints. Ever since I quit, fuck, boy, does it ever hit you?
Oh yeah,
it hit you even more. Right?
Well, I'm wondering what this means, because once you go over 5 nanograms, or either you're smoking weed and you get caught smoking with a combination of alcohol in your system, you could get even steeper fines and jail time. The most serious cases, they're saying you can get 10 years in jail for driving while under the influence of marijuana. Now let's start at the beginning here. Did you?
Well, how many things are wrong with that?
Oh, I was gonna start with. Did you know that it's possible to drive sober?
Oh yeah.
Really? You're one of those.
I drive sober all the time, Marconi. I don't know.
Shut the fuck
no
up.
fucking
You do
way.
not.
No, because I told you that you gotta be responsible and you have to know not to smoke weed while you drive, and that's just something that that you have to like be aware of how you're gonna react. Somebody's gonna have a beer and drive. Is it any fucking different?
It, right?
Is it any fucking different?
It's not. And like, you know your limit. Like, kind of instinctively when it's okay to drive and when it isn't. Like when you've had, in my instance, I would say once I hit about that, depending on how fast I'm drinking, 3-4 year threshold, 3-4 beer threshold, I probably shouldn't be driving. But with weed, I consider myself to be something of a weed wizard, Pascal. Like I could smoke this joint and drive no problem, because it's only 5% THC. It's mostly a CBD strain. It's not going to get you that.
I love Marconi's thoughts on this.
Well, man, 10 years in jail. Like,
no, it's
fuck.
It's bullshit. And quite honestly, I thought they decriminalized fucking drinking and driving in Alberta. So it was given to the cop. They gave it to the cops' discretion to determine whether it's this person who was caught drinking and driving, needed to be brought up on charges. And so if that's the case, why are they treating weed like this is fucking way worse thing than alcohol, when alcohol stays in your system so much longer? It impacts you in such a different way. Now, eating weed and driving, I don't agree.
Okay, so let's I guess jump back there for a second. Now that weed's legal, to anyone that was kind of afraid to sort of smoke or try weed when it was illegal, and you're looking for kind of your first foray into the marijuana, don't eat it. Don't take don't eat edibles. Don't start there. Don't start with your oils. Start with a couple tokes off of a vaporizer or a joint, something like this, because the effects are way less potent than if you eat it, and it might turn you off of the experience.
That's what some people told me, because somebody up here told me that, but I had a few people back home that said that when they ate an edible, it kind of like gave them this. They ate way more than they should have ate, which is what you should do. If somebody gives you an edible, it says eat half. You should not be a pussy, and you should just eat the whole fucking thing.
Not in the beginning. Once you build up that tolerance.
But if you are building up that tolerance, then yes, like don't start off with an edible. Start off with a little toke, or like you said, a little hit off the vape, because it's going to affect you differently, and different ways.
One group of people that isn't going to be, at least legally, still smoking the marijuana or eating the edibles.
Muslims.
No, good guess, but no.
No, I have some Muslim friends who smoke weed.
I was going to say police officers, actually.
There's some that
in a lot of places, Calgary Police Department,
that's banned.
For instance, yeah, they can't even smoke weed in their off days, which is fucking bullshit. Like, first of all, I want to say a big thank you to the cops that have caught me with weed over the years and chose to never lay a possession charge on me, because that would have been really, really bad. I think in some cases you can't travel.
Did you ever talk about that one time?
No, I don't know what time you're talking about. Anyways, yeah, these cops, you know, they're reasonable for the most part, you know, and they've been really good to me, and I appreciate that over the years. And I think it's bullshit because they have one of the toughest jobs out there, and if anyone should be able to smoke weed at the end of the day, it should be a cop. And of course, they shouldn't be smoking it during their shift. They're not dumb. Like that, of course, it should be a law that you're not allowed to smoke marijuana when you're out there policing, but in your off time. That's not right, man. They deserve the right.
Fuck,
to
they
relax
should be
just like
they
anybody
should be
else.
smoking weed and out there policing. It'd be like a video game. You're playing like fucking Call of Duty or something.
First person shooter.
How's the audio look?
Dylan says the audio is looking pretty good from his end.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. You know how I am, Dylan. I'm paranoid as fuck. And it's not because of the reefer, but
Well, speaking of paranoid as fuck, let's segue into the plants. You're now allowed
well, no, I was gonna
possess,
say
plants.
I was
Go
gonna say
ahead.
the thing with the cops. I read that 28 days is the, you know, not only 28 days later, it's not only a great movie, but it's also the amount of time that some officers are having. So if they want to smoke weed, they can smoke it, but you can't be on duty for 28 days later.
That is so fucking stupid.
It's the most retarded thing.
I'm guessing that comes from it usually takes about that amount of time to get it out of your system.
Well, I guess out of the system,
It's
but
not psychoactive after like a few hours.
no, what these police officers need are a good meal and a nap. I can't not discredit how amazing fucking naps are, and especially if you're super baked. Like, there's no way I'm driving over the open house now, even after that one joint and the more weed that I'm going to be smoking momentarily. It's just like, you know, nothing like laying down, closing your eyes, having a nap, and then the cops could sleep it off, wake up the next day, and they're cool. Now, should police officers use magic mushrooms and go in the next day? I don't think so. You know, I don't think that they should use ecstasy and go in, or on cocaine. I bet you that they're doing it. And I bet you some of them aren't getting caught. But with fucking weed, for something that like alcohol, like having a few beers or even a glass of wine, for me is way fucking more impactful than what this is. This, you know, small little joint here is nothing compared to how, I guess, influencing alcohol is on your system. So if anything, should police officers go into work on a day after they've been out drinking? Or, you know, I bet you tons of them do. I bet you some of them drink at work, like those fucking cop movies. You know, the you know, disgruntled detective. He's an alcoholic. He's looking for that serial killer. We all know these fucking movies, but like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
I think a
ridiculous.
A lot of this comes from misinformation, though, more than malice, I think. And the good news is, though, that
do you see that fucking Indian chick? She was saying basically that marijuana was a gateway drug. This dumb cunt. But no, this bitch is from fucking Health Canada or something.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna segue into actually.
Okay.
But it's a good.
But she backtracked because she realized she fucked up.
That's why I was saying this is really just mostly misinformation. People that have been, you know, victims of propaganda over marijuana their whole lives, and they just think it's, you know, for lazy, stupid people that, you know, first little Johnny took that toke of marijuana. Next thing you know, he's injecting himself with heroin. You know, that was their line right after. Prior to that, it was, if you smoke weed, you're gonna murder white women. That's what the Mexicans and minorities were doing.
Isn't that still happening though?
So they slowly evolved the lie, right? But a lot of people are just natural victims of the misinformation. But fortunately, Health Canada alone is going to be spending up to $100 million over the next 6 years on awareness, publication, and surveillance. Thank God. And I was thinking, Mascal,
I feel safe now already.
I was more so thinking, how can we get a piece of that? Who knows more about marijuana than two of us, you know?
Well, there's lots of people
doing it illegally for a solid 15 years now. I mean, we know differences between indicas and sativas, high CBD strains, you know, the balance of both, what's going to happen.
There's always going to be, with something like weed though, there's always going to be somebody that knows more about it than you, which is what I love about weed, because you're always learning. You can never be the best. Like, you want to have, if you're growing now, fuck growing outside. I grew outside, guerrilla gardening outside for fucking I did it a few times with a friend, and it was more so his crop. And then when I did on my own, I still got some shit off it, but it's fucking hard. You're going out in the woods, you have to deal with mosquitoes. Let me tell you something, Marconi. The mosquitoes suck dick when they're swarming you in the middle of the fucking woods, and you're carrying dope plants. And quite honestly, I haven't grown weed in, I'll say 5 years. I haven't grown weed in 5 years because I said I would not grow until I could grow indoors legally, which is what you can, right? 4 plants, and have some sort of Breaking Bad setup. So grow tent and charcoal filters. So that's what you need if you're growing in places like your home and stuff, so you don't get mold and the smell and stuff like that. But with some apartment buildings, like my friend's one building, they banned growing completely. They're not allowing anybody to grow weed. So unless you own your house, you know, a lot of times people have that fucking, I guess, control over what you do, even if it's in your own dwelling and you pay for the electricity, right?
So you are allowed now to grow legally 4 cannabis plants per household for personal
They used
use,
to have
except in Quebec and Manitoba.
Yeah, but they were gonna have that really gay law where it was just like, oh, it was only gonna be like 4 feet you could have it, and like there's a fucking.
Didn't they have that? I thought that's still the
No,
case. 1.1 meters.
I heard-
Did they scrap that?
I heard that meters is a lot higher, isn't it? Or meters
No,
are like
it's
3
about
feet.
3 feet in a meter.
Okay,
It was,
whatever.
If I recall, I definitely read this. I'm not sure if they've changed it since. We'll have to look it up. 1.1 meters is the maximum height of a marijuana plant. So I'm going to be coming over here and making sure, you know, you're at 1.1 meters or lower, Masco, because you hit 1.2 meters and I'm calling the cops.
I was trying to think of something, but see, that's what weed's a friend, but it's also a foe.
Well, it did suck having to, you know,
It's fun though. I never got busted for smoking. You know how many years I smoked fucking weed? I've been smoking weed since I was fucking 15 years old, and I never got caught. And I smoked weed everywhere. Everywhere. I don't fucking know how people get caught. Marconi?
First year university at Guelph.
Jesus.
We're outside of the residence building there, just out on the stairs, smoking a joint between like 4 of us. And I look in the window and there's a cop coming from the inside of the building heading out. I'm like, oh fuck, Johnny, toss it. He takes it, does a fucking epic flip, man. I was impressive. He took it and just launched it across the field. It was a solid flick. Anyways, cop comes out, takes a look around. He's like, you guys know it's illegal to smoke marijuana, right? We're like, oh yes, sir, absolutely. He's like, I'm just kidding you. Could you please take it away from the building, though? I need you to go over there onto the field.
But that was some people, because then you get some of these fucking faggots.
That could have just as easily been someone that decided to charge with, you know, possession, and then boom, you're fucked.
It was based on like cops' discretion, but like
it still will be, I'm sure.
Well,
any law is essentially based on the cops' discretion. Oh no, that's not true. Cop doesn't.
No, they don't give a fuck.
That's what happens when you smoke a joint in the middle of a show.
Oh, smoke a joint. Jesus, we're getting down, Marco. Right here, like fucking 2 bongs, my pipe.
What are some of your favorite strains? What do you really enjoy in these days?
When I could get my hands on it, I did enjoy Romulan. It was a strain where
that was a 70% indica, 30%
until I started buying from an actual store. I never considered what strains which. You have people where they give you the strain and they're just like, oh yeah, this is green crack, or this is like, you know, purple kush. But like, unless you like know the lineage of the seeds and the plants in general, it's like, how the fuck do you know it's that strain?
Yeah, you're not gonna know on the street, that's for sure.
So when I started
getting fancy containers, containers with the numbers on there.
What I get is I don't even care. I get these like little. I get these.
Pascal's favorite strain. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, honestly. Like nobody should have. So it's got Ganja Express. This is God's green crack, of course. God's Green Crack was a strain that we had in high school. A friend had a large amount of dope, and he'd share it and stuff like that, smoke a joint and stuff like that, and essentially it was good fucking shit. And I never found it ever again until recently. It's God's Green Crack, because I switched from the indicas, because I was found if I was like working and writing or something like that, and you smoke too much of the indicas, you just want to sleep. So it's like I don't want to fucking just like be unproductive and sleep, right? So essentially I switched to kind of hybrids, and I still have some indicas. And if you get your hands on God, or what is it called? Blue God is fucking tremendous. But this shit is God's Green Crack. It tastes really good too. I had this weed that tasted like grape, which was really cool. But if you go on Leafly has a lot of the reviews and shit, right? And but when I was a kid, and before I started buying from a legit site and having it mailed, or going to a dispensary, I never really focused on it. It was just like, is this weed good? Does it get you fucking stoned? And that was my focus. But now,
yeah, that's why I think legalization is going to be really good too. Like, the education is going to be a good thing, because now people are going to know what they're getting and how different strands have different effects. Like, my thoughts when I first switched to medical was, okay, let's go to the strongest strand, let's get the most, see how it goes. But like those heavy indica strains, like I'd say 80% or more indica, you're, especially the ones with high THC, like, it's gonna knock you on your ass, and it's gonna make you highly dysfunctional. So like for me, I like having a little bit of something like this. Like, this one's called Baleen. It's only about 6% THC. God Kush is
sounds Arab. Baleen, sponsored by ISIS.
It sounds more like Bollywood than Arab, I think. But maybe. But this one's only about 6%, and it's more of a sativa. So like an indica strand is going to make you more kind of relaxed, more of a body high, and you'll just kind of be able to chill, I guess. Sativas are more of kind of an upper. Like, it'll don't get smoking sativa before, like even just a little bit before working out or doing a little bit of writing, and it doesn't give you that derp. Don't know what I'm talking about, kind of.
Oh, I always know what I'm talking about, but sometimes you stumble over it, right?
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a derp high every now and then, but not when you're doing things like, say, a show or working out or whatever, anything professional.
Anything that you just like, I don't know. Anything that I like, because I used to really get fucking stoned. Well, you remember when we started.
Smoked weed every day since you were like 15. Back in the day.
Not every day. I probably been smoking weed every day since I was around 18, 19.
You smoked every day since I've known you. That's for sure.
Well, why waste a day? Jesus, this fucking guy right here, why waste a day, Marconi? Jesus.
Touche, Pascal.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Why waste a day?
But no, I enjoy smoking pot. Alcohol is not my thing, and the longer that I've lived up here, and this is my community, I'm interested to see what people think about the. I was debating whether or not I'm gonna go smoke a joint over there when I finish doing my stories. I might, because I'm not driving anyway, because don't want to drive high and shit.
At the community marijuana open house discussion, just spark a joint right in the middle of that.
Not inside.
So where'd you say the boundaries were? We're allowed to smoke everywhere now, right? Just play dumb.
And you know what? The bullshit.
Oh fuck! I can't smoke it here. Come on. Where's my rights?
My whole thing too is these fucking cunts at the Edmonton airport, where it's gonna make flying so much shittier. Because I hate flying as it is.
It's gonna be better. You can bring 30 grams on board.
No, because it sucks now because you can't smoke it there.
Oh, you can't smoke it. Oh, you mean outside the airport?
Yeah, at Edmonton airport, those fucking cunts have banned it all the way up to like the road. Like, you gotta go stand by the fucking
joint at that airport. Like,
well, you can smoke it. I smoke in the parking lot real quick. Who's fucking gonna stop you?
Right?
But like, my whole plan was to go and get fucking baked and go to the airport and fucking, while you're waiting for a couple hours, go outside, smoke a joint, and then come back in, and then you can fly even more baked. But like now, the last time I flew, I drove all the way from Grand Prairie and smoked, just power smoked a few fucking joints, smoked a few bowls, and then I flew. But you're burning out halfway, so you got even it
I
out.
do enjoy watching them plan like all these arbitrary boundaries and shit, like just nationwide.
Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna fucking stop me?
They're like, okay, you can smoke weed, but it's got to be at least, I forget what it is, like 100 meters away from a school. It's like, what the? It's right over there.
I especially around here, I wouldn't smoke by school, but I would have no problem walking by Simcoe Composite School in Simcoe, Ontario, smoking a fucking joint. It was like what we did when we were kids anyway. So what the fuck was the big deal? Smoking cigarettes and shit?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't smoke near the school. Right outside the arena, though, for sure.
Oh, here?
Really, anywhere outside, I'll smoke for the most part, especially now that there's no jail time associated with being.
Well, there's Festivale. I'm gonna fucking go. I'm gonna take a joint over to Festivale, and that's more so because I'm gonna go.
Don't mix it with alcohol and then drive. You'll go to jail for 10 years.
You mean driving that? What was it?
Driving over there.
Over there, eh? Over that 5 minutes away that me and Brittany are gonna have to go.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Get your tickets to Wine Fest. High Level Play Association.
What's this strand here?
This is just some like random outdoor shit that we have. I could never roll good joints either. I've gotten better over time because practice makes perfect, Marconi. But in terms of fucking just like I like smoking joints now so that I don't smoke cigarettes because it's like smoking a cigarette, right? Mm-hmm. So takes me back.
Nice. Practice makes perfect. But no one's perfect. But why? So why practice?
Ugh, fuck. Kill yourself with that philosophical fucking. Oh, dude, can you bring up on your fucking phone 101 things to do instead of drive high? Jesus Christ, I want your thoughts on this.
Oh, that sounds.
It is fucking bullshit. 101 things. Or it's don'tdrivehigh.ca, I believe.
101
I did this on my show, Mascal Sessions, on Mascal Podcasting Network, of course. Check that shit out. But check out that shit and see how douche chilly that whole fucking thing is. That pisses me off so bad. It essentially makes people who smoke weed seem like fucking retards.
I wonder how many of these 101 things are also forms of distracted driving.
And here's the thing too. Here's the thing before I re-spark that. What they're doing, there's a partnership between Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Tweed, which is a weed company.
The real buzzkills, man.
And Uber.
Fucking constantly throwing dead people in my face.
Well, let's
they're real downers.
Well, just because you're on right now, what do you think that mother who I called it, Marconi, that mother who the kid died is charged with impaired driving?
Oh yeah,
for the mother who I called that
the
shit.
Ontario mom who drove past the barrier while there was a major flood, saying "Don't come in here," and then the flood took away the kid.
Well, the cunt should have just fucking read the sign and not drove past, but she didn't give a fuck. But anyway.
Oh, right.
Do you see the
101 things? Drink a glass of water. It's surprising how well this works. Eat a dill pickle. Suck on a piece of tart candy.
Put a shotgun barrel around your lips.
Floss and brush your teeth. In the car? Run in.
Okay, you want to know the fucking faggiest one that I read or I heard about? Pretend to be a cat instead. No, all the ones you might be on the wrong one. It's.
Oh, I am on the wrong one. This is quitting smoking.
Oh, quitting smoking. Yeah, go to don'tdrivehigh.ca, and well, first of all, I think I could build a better website than that. That's why my last episode too. If people were wondering, it didn't kind of look really that great with the display. Or whatever, but like the color, but it matches specifically their fucking cunny website. But look at it. So it's a partnership, and it's like, oh, ride with Uber. So Uber's taking, Uber's eating too. It's a scam.
That's a good business move on Uber's part. It's just like saying don't drive home high, get a cab. That's a good way for them to use business. I don't see a problem with that.
Now
sounds like good part. 101 things to do instead. Have a staring contest. Read your tea leaves instead. Pop some bubble wrap instead. Give your friend a heartfelt compliment. This is, yeah.
One of the gayest things that I've read in
I was
a
going
long
to say
time.
retarded, but I'd have to correct myself and say R-worded.
Oh, you're saying the R word.
Yeah, R-worded. Hypnotize yourself instead. That's got to be distracted driving. Analyze some art. I don't understand. To do instead. Oh, it's not of driving. It's instead of
driving
of
high.
just getting high.
No,
instead.
no. To do instead of drive high. That's the whole don't drive high. That's their fucking shtick. So this is all the things you can do rather than drive high. So you're supposed to read this.
So you're supposed to look into a kaleidoscope instead of.
What if I can't get a fucking kaleidoscope?
That sounds way more dangerous. Analyze.
I don't just
art?
carry kaleidoscopes around, you fucks.
Art? How do you analyze art and drive? That wouldn't make any sense. Do some finger drumming instead. Have a laugh instead. Play chess instead.
The one is pretend to be a cat, and I just want whoever wrote that to kill themselves. Please. Fuck.
I'm pretty sure the top of this is a partnership about not driving high, and 101 things is just saying, hey, you still probably shouldn't be smoking weed. Do these things instead. Because if they're actually trying to make the case that you should be playing chess.
No, one's like call your
call
your grandparents. And you know how many times I've spoken
read
my
the classifieds instead, Pascal. Just pull up the paper, check out what's for sale.
Echo Pioneer.
Check Echo Pioneer.
Lots of classifieds.
Play the piano instead. Hey, why drive high when you can play piano? Yeah, that's what it is. It's things to do instead of getting high.
Instead of driving high. No. That's the shtick. I guarantee you. Why do you think fucking Uber's involved? Uber doesn't give a fuck if you get high or not.
Dollar bills, y'all. I read they could have like $120 billion valuation when they go.
Don't drive high.
Yeah, ride with Uber instead. It's a promo. They got a little promo code in there, and then you scroll down for 101 things to do instead.
Right here, proud to partner with impaired driving to stop driving high. That's their fucking bit.
I've never seen someone get as angry.
I'm so angry with this list. I'm so angry with this list right now.
What does that say about you, do you think?
I don't know. I've been doing it long. It doesn't calm me down.
You have a hard time dealing with retardation because you are in fact a retard. And it's just it's a reflection of yourself. That's all. That's all that is there.
Is it?
I think so.
Maybe.
I think that's it. Just, you know what? Relax and go play the harp instead.
Oh. Play the harp. There's no harp around here.
Find shapes in the clouds instead.
Well, if it's night.
Take gibberish. I've driven 12. You know how I drive. 12 hours from
Marconi.
12 hours from Lethbridge to High Level with no music, no distractions.
He's like Marconi has a serial killer vibe with the fact that you don't listen to. Like I have to have something on in the car, whether it's
clear your head time. You just check
whether
out
it's
nature
O
and
and
just
A,
think about things.
Whether it's Opie and Anthony or another podcast or listening to music, I have to have something in the car if I'm by myself. You sitting there and driving for fucking the length of drives that we have to go to up here is fucking. I could never do it.
It's called think. Well, you'll learn to think one day. I promise. You'll get there. Just finish that joint. You'll be there. Nice.
But
so should we wrap this thing up? I mean, I think we've talked about all of my well-produced talking points.
Look at Marconi. He actually got prepared.
I knew we were going to smoke weed and I wasn't going to remember shit to talk about. So I thought I'd have at least the laws and a couple other things.
Well, there's some places, Norfolk County, for example, you're not going to be able to buy dope there because it's a dry county or some shit. And it's one of the dumbest things because there's good amount.
It's always online though. It's always online.
There's online, but like going to a store, it's like the reserves are probably gonna make a lot of money out there. People are gonna have to travel to like Brantford or Hamilton or something like that. But yeah, it doesn't feel like different. Like today, like people are making a big deal about it. It's like, quite honestly, it just means that we can do this and we can't be in trouble for anything.
Until I get to court over smoking weed while driving and I go, that's never happened before. And they pull up this clip. I'm like, oh yeah? I'm like, fuck driving sober. No, I'm kidding. Obviously you don't drive.
How are they going to test it? The fucking one machine.
It's with these tests. They have these little roadside saliva tests. So you lick this thing, and then it tells you how many nanograms. If you're between 2 and 5, then you get fined up $2,000. If it's over 5 nanograms, it's up to 10 years in prison at their discretion. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? How many nanograms am I right now? We need to get our hands on one of these lick tests and test it out. Am I at 2 nanograms?
Oh, I can tell.
Because I can hands down drive right now, no problem. I'm not that stoned. But for all I know, I could be over 5 nanograms, and then
I was smoking weed too, like before you came over. That's why I was kind of like,
that was my first legal joint right there. I waited.
And that was the thing too. It's
this
like
was
now
supposed to be special, Mascal. Do you mind?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, go ahead. Well, Marconi, I got a bunch of shit here.
All right. Well, anyways, let's wrap up this live stream. Hey, there's people talking on there.
I told you.
Let's go. Let's talk to some of the people that are listening. Who's saying what?
I can't even see.
We should have brought that laptop closer to us, but then we're out of focus. Justin something.
I can't.
Hey, Justin, thanks for tuning in, man. Yeah. I hope you're enjoying the Legal Weed podcast. Hang on. I'm gonna go forward and see what everyone's saying.
Well, it just says people joined. That's all it says. Jesus, Marconi, what the fuck? See these live stream and then going in front of the camera. Look at this fucking rookie going in front of the goddamn.
He says hi from Simcoe. How's it going, Justin?
See, I gave Simcoe a shout out. Simcoe was good shit back in the day.
Yeah,
I smoked a lot of dope back there. Not as much as I do now. That's for sure. What are you doing? Like fighting it? This is like it's incense. The reason it keeps getting butted out is because I just like. I stop hitting it, but
it's not because that's a world-class joint rolling thing that you did right there.
No, this is a fucking shit, a poorly rolled joint, Marconi. I'll tell you right now.
It's true. I've been in writing this ebook on procrastination now. I'm really, really against the idea of perfect.
Oh yeah, talk about your ebook.
Ebook's going to be out within the next, we'll say October 31st is going to be the deadline. Get that done, and you can't procrastinate on a book about procrastination. That's just the worst, and I got to get it done by October 31st.
So why'd you want to write this fucking book?
It's going to be my new side business. I'm looking into getting into Kindle publishing and Amazon FBA sales, making money online. Like we always talk about, we love this. Like we do this part of broadcasting because we love it. It's a lot of fun. We love telling stories, doing shows. The dream's always been able to make money doing it. Like I've been full-time now with the business over a year and a few months now, and things are going pretty awesome. But I always wanted to learn how to make money online. So I started taking this course through K Money Mastery about how to publish a Kindle book start to finish and outsource some of the tedious stuff like transcribing and whatnot and getting a book cover made and converting it into the proper format. And it's been dope, man. Like now I'm learning about digital marketing and actually how to reach an audience and then convert the audience that you're connecting with a certain percentage into sales.
Is this like a magician revealing his secrets, Marconi?
What's that? Well, I don't know. That's an interesting way to put it. It's just like anything else in the market. It's like people want to learn how to do something. Someone will fill it.
Okay.
And I guarantee you, so we're doing podcasting workshops with one Dylan Bowker who just let a comment on there as well. I'll have to go check that out. But we're doing
I can see that one.
workshops for the youth in some of the reserves, beginning with Chate at the Deneta Community School there. We're going to convert. So as I'm learning how to publish these ebooks, the next step after that is publishing some of our content on libertymultimedia.com. Who would be able to teach people better than us how to set up a show, do live streams, connect with your audience, everything from talking into the microphone, creating a show, a script, research. We know all that stuff, man, and there's a market for it. People want to learn from someone that can make it simple. Yeah, there's information you can find for free online, but in my case, like that's why I bought this course. Is it's like someone's going to make it really, really simple and save a shit ton of time, and then you learn from someone that's 10 steps ahead of you, and it sort of speeds along the process. So it's been pretty cool, and yeah, believe it, man. Liberty Multimedia is going to be growing the online portion of things.
Now with some people, like if that was a that was a pretty fucking harsh toke right there. I've just been like, you gotta go hard for this stupid legalization day, which again, this is just Wednesday. But the for people who are like not happy with their jobs, Marconi, what would you say to these people that aren't happy with their jobs and shit? And they're like, oh well, I can't really do anything about it because, you know, this is what I'm stuck with, and you know, this is my situation, and I don't think I can get out of it, and I just have to go and do this shitty work that nobody else wants to do, but you know, I have to do it.
I would say
listen to that
no,
rambling long question.
No, I
could have cut it like this. I said the same thing, like, and then just, you know, reiterated the same exact thing.
Yo, it's a damn important question, right? Because it's part of what I want to accomplish with this brand too, is to be able to teach people how to use their creative skills to be able to make a living, because there's no better thing, right? Like I'm so motivated to never have to go back to working for someone else ever again, because of the freedom that you get, where, you know, you don't have to be in a place from 9 to 5 or 7 to 7, 5 days a week. You can do what you want with the skills that you want, so long as you can provide kind of value for other people. So my advice would be, just get started. Start a side hustle of any kind.
Now dealing dope's out of the question.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Trudeau took that away from you. So
yeah, so switch to a harder drug, you know.
Ecstasy,
get into your cocaines, meth, and your cracks, and your
catch up on
fentanyl's making a real move
fentanyl,
up here.
yeah.
That, you know, methamphetamine.
Shout out fentanyl.
Yeah, no, they're just, if you're in that position and you want to make a change, first of all, you've got to believe that it's possible. Because if you don't believe that it's possible, you're not going to. And we know there's those people. There's lots of people that just don't think that there's another way, and they're going to be stuck doing those shitty jobs or worse, you know. And that's just, it's not for everybody necessarily, right? But I think get started, believe it can happen, set goals, and start small. And don't worry about, like, this comes out of the procrastination thing too. Like, don't wait for things to be perfect. Just get started and develop a short plan, a plan that you can do, and not like a fucking 50-page business plan. I'm talking about like an actionable step. Like, I want to have a business launched with a deadline. So I will have my business started by November 30th, and then break that down into smaller tasks, set them up in a timeline. Start with the most simple thing you could think of. So if you want to get in better shape, say lose like 20 pounds in a month or 10 pounds in a month or something like that. Don't start by, a lot of people are going to start fully motivated and they're going to go all in. They're going to, if they don't start completely, they either don't start completely or they go all in a short amount of time and then burn themselves out and quit. I've done that like a million fucking times. Or like, you're all, because at the beginning you're all motivated, you're fired up on willpower, you're ready to get at it, so you tackle as much as you can, and then you just kind of go, fuck it. What's more important is building up the consistency and the habits. So focus on developing really simple habits where you're working at something for as little as 5 minutes every single day, and focus on building that consistency. Don't worry that you don't have revenues yet. Don't worry that you don't understand all of the process. Just put in 5 minutes to change your life every single day, because you have to believe that can happen, and beyond belief, you have to be able to take action consistently. And I guess another thing too is upgrade your skills.
You hear the emergency vehicles? Not to interrupt you.
I do, yeah.
Some idiot probably got stoned and forgot.
Yeah. Invest the time and money, if you have it, into upgrading your skills wherever possible. There's a reason that people are only making, say, $15 an hour or less in many cases. Is because they don't yet have the skills to be able to create $15 or more of value to the market. You get what you're able to create in terms of value. Don't ever expect, like, no one owes you anything. You got to go out there and fucking get it. You know what I mean? Like, you have to, if you want more money, you got to create more value, period. You can't just wait for it to come or get kind of greedy. Oh, my boss hasn't given me a raise. Why would he give you a raise? You want to get a raise, either create more value and for your employer in a noticeable way, or you hustle the skills and the experience that you already have to other enterprises. If you're in, say, media, you talk to like other.
Now, do you think
you get other offers and you go, look, boss, you take it back to your boss, go, look, boss, I'm a loyal guy. I want to work for you, but I know my value is higher than, because I've been doing this for you. I've been putting in extra work. I'm not just your typical employee, right? I'm learning new skills and I'm always looking to develop. So
now in terms of raises, would you say that somebody has to like physically do something at their job in order to essentially earn that raise, or just putting in time and they get a raise that way? What do you think?
I think both. I think in a lot of ways you should be
putting in your time sucks. Like when you think about these people that they have these pensions and I'm going to rely on this pension from this company. Don't worry, in 35 years, man, that company is going to take care of me. Oh, they're going to take care of you, all right.
Social security system.
They're going to fuck you so bad.
Yeah.
And just
our generation doesn't get to retire. So, yeah, don't be counting on.
I don't want to retire. I want to work forever until I'm dead from some disease or, probably an accident.
And it's the funny thing is too, when you develop the habits and you put in the time consistently to change things, it becomes a lot fucking easier, and it really, really does happen that way. You gotta create more value. I say people should be renegotiating or trying to get raises for every 6 months or a year at bare minimum, renegotiating their wage with their employer. And if they can't, if you want and you want more money, you go to other businesses, you apply to other jobs. Folds, just get out there, see what your skills are worth.
Now,
do the best you can to sell yourself. And if no one else comes knocking, that's a sign that you got to improve your skills. If no one else is willing to offer you more value, that means you're not worth it yet. So you have to upgrade your skills or figure out a way to be worth it. You can't just sit back and expect a raise. What drives up your wage is your productivity and your ability to add value. Create more value, you add more productivity, you're going to get more money.
Well, because some people say that when they're doing a job, like, working and stuff, looking for a job is essentially a full-time job. Now, I think that that's partially true, because if you want to actually go for a fucking job, you can just go for it, because, don't be a fucking lazy cunt. Just fucking apply. Like, it's resistance. Everything's resistance. I'm telling you,
and it's the same thing. Like, you could put in 5 minutes a day into applying for that job, and you'll get applications out. You might not get a yes right away, but you'll be having the skills to at least improve your resume and be able to know what it's like. Like, some people, their version of applying for a job is dropping off the same resume to every single company.
Imagine if you made a spelling mistake on one of those like cover letters or something. It says maybe it said the N-word or something like that.
It's just a generic resume. It's not at all a sale to the company of, look at these personalized experience. I have like 20 different versions of my resume. Like, it depends on the area. We do video production, we do websites, we do live presentations. I've got management experience and grocery and
what was that
grant project.
What was that thing that we've determined that I had? Brittany. Fuck, Brittany should call in the show. Bring the kid on real quick.
What was it? No, he's not coming on a weed podcast.
It's good for his lungs.
Fuck, I lost my train of thought.
I'm
glad that happened, because that had to happen at least once on this live stream. What the fuck am I talking about?
No, it was the thing that I had where.
Oh yeah, something syndrome. What was it called?
Because the whole thing is essentially trying to Well, it was not resistance. It was the stuff of like, oh, when everything's gonna just like, I'll go back to like fucking dumb lows or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It had something to do. So the sin. I can't remember what it was called still, but it had something to do with the person deep down feels like they're a fraud that's about to be found out by
Now I don't
people.
think I'm a fraud at all.
That they don't deserve what they.
No,
what
I
they-
don't. And I think I deserve too because I put in the time because I figure I'd just stress it on the
I
show.
want to find this syndrome because it was a perfect description of your worst fears.
But
I
it's
just
more
don't
so.
want to go back to fucking physical labor, Marconi.
And that's the thing. Some people, when they've done that shit for so long, and like I didn't even have it the worst. People, didn't you say you did asphalt one year?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's the fucking way worse. Look at what fucking Marconi did. He did fucking asphalt. It's way worse than
It was road construction.
Whatever.
Working on the side of the road.
Yeah.
For 14 hours.
Enjoy out in that sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably
how fun was having that cooler. Was it fun to pack your cooler? I remember one time at one of my first jobs, the guy fucking left me. He took my fucking water. It was in the truck. I said, I'm just like, oh, where do you want me to leave my water? He's like, oh, just in the truck. That's fine. Then he drove off like 10 minutes later. Didn't see him for 4 hours. And then as an employee, essentially, what do you do? Oh, it's all right. No, it's not fucking all right. And I'm telling you, that's fucking bad shit. Physical labor sucks. I don't know. It's fun sometimes. Like when I remember laying out like the front displays at Lowe's. Sometimes that was a lot of fun. Getting that all, and you did it, like doing the Halloween displays and shit. I had fun with that. I like doing it. But there's other times when you're doing like, I stopped deadheading essentially. I worked at a flower store. I stopped deadheading for real, like probably third year. I didn't deadhead at all for like maybe the last 2 years. I was just like, fuck it. I blamed it on the people working at Lowe's because they're just fucking dumb and couldn't take care of the plants. Well, there's things that people like remember. Like, I remember sitting at a desk for 8 hours or even longer sometimes taking calls about people's heat or hot water that I just didn't give a fuck about. I didn't want to be there. It was the worst. That's why you had to fucking drink at lunch.
Yeah. And you don't have to be. That's the point.
Now you have to work up to that point though.
Yeah,
because
sure.
It wasn't until I made this big fucking move out to here to high level, that essentially I was able to I had a fairly decent job. The meter reader job was cool, but the fact that like I figure if you're a meter reader, you're just gonna eventually get into an accident with your car because you're the variables. You're on the road all the time. You're fucking driving up and down. First of all, second of all, it's hard to find a spot to take a piss. That's really good.
Disappointed meter made Mescal wasn't for the long haul.
No,
I could have just watched you get angrier and angrier throughout life.
Well, you remember the calls I sent you?
Oh, yeah.
I'd call Marconi. I'd be out in like Dundas. Be like, fuck Marconi, this fucking job sucks. And then I told him, I'm like, oh, just put in the call to whatever, and voila, I end up here. But yeah, I don't know. You just gotta, I guess, work for it. And then once you get to it though, you don't want to lose it. That's the thing, right?
Right.
So you just want to continue to like work hard. But like there's tons of things where people are just like, oh, well, you're working really hard towards this, but this could all like collapse, and then what do you fall back on?
Anything can collapse. And What are you going to fall back on?
That's true.
You think that job that you're taking at that you had at Lowe's or that job
Oh
was
God,
secure?
no.
You think it's like our parents and grandparents' generation where someone would have one?
Because everybody's replaceable. Everybody's
Exactly.
replaceable.
Yeah, you can't. It's a defensive. It's a defensive move to get a business going, not an offensive one. You're by learning more skills and learning more, and growing yourself.
Now, what was your biggest challenge that you've had to face so far with running the business?
The biggest challenge, I would say, is oh man, I don't know if there's a single biggest challenge. There's a lot though. I think number one is like it's all on you. Like while you have 100% ultimate freedom, you are able to coast. Like you can just, I don't want to work tomorrow or the next day, I don't have to. Like I'm in that position.
But then you
now.
get in
I've
that
got-
position where it's like you gotta fucking work because you can't be a lazy cunt
Well, that-
because
Yeah, it's
you have to get shit done.
exactly, and you don't want to be a lazy cunt, right?
No.
That's a big part. Like that's why I was saying, like one of the big things you can do is, to get started, focus on developing good habits, habits that are going to work you in the right direction, like getting up earlier in the morning and working out, and having a plan that you go over, and maybe a to-do list of a couple things you're going to get done, whatever, sales. And so that's the first thing. Get good habits. And 2, learn how to make deals with people. Learn how to make sales. Because I knew right away revenue is going to be the biggest challenge. So that's obviously the biggest challenge of a business, I guess, is making money.
The difference is
I don't
compared
think
to what we do, it's not like we created an invention and we're trying to make product where we have all these other constraints of manufacturing and distribution, and are we going to get it made here? Are we going to get it made overseas and then imported? So it's like there's a lot more advantages of providing a service, because I honestly think that at this stage of the game, multimedia is like a trade. Like multimedia is up on there like a fucking plumber. Like, do you want to be out there and do plumbing? I went there a few times. I went to a $2 million penthouse in Burlington, and I guess city housing, which is like for welfare and shit like that, in Hamilton, with somebody who was working as a plumber. I was just helping out, and it sucked both times, even in the penthouse. So like, at least with multimedia, it's a different type of trade, Yeah.
Even that stuff you were talking about, though, like the manufacturing, outsourcing, product development, Amazon takes care of all that shit now. That's the next step after Kindle, is looking into that, because now there's companies that can take care of all that shit for you, including customer service, which you can outsource to virtual assistants. Pretty fucking crazy shit. But yeah, even now I know how to make revenue. I know how to make deals. I'm confident that it's not all going to fall apart, because even if it does, I've still got the skills that I've learned along the way that have upped my value, right? Like I've taken, like from that Lowe's job, I took, I think, 5 jobs in a year using that strategy of leveraging
Marconi was
offers.
driving around with fucking chips and shit.
Yeah.
At that one point.
Yeah. Old Dutch potato chips. I still love their salt and vinegar, man.
Ugh.
That could have been my life, just driving the chip truck around.
But imagine if it was.
But it never was. I knew that even then. It was a means.
Because like when you're working at a job, you always had that feeling. I always had that feeling. Now I don't, because I'm like, oh, I'm doing, like, I went fishing today. That's what I did. But I always felt like, oh, I could be doing something much more valuable with my time, instead of like putting out the flowers, or taking these idiots' calls because they have no heater in the winter. How's that my problem? I didn't not take care of my furnace. Should have took care of your fucking furnace.
Yeah.
You fucking faggots.
Yeah. Well, you got to believe in your own value and your own ability to learn more and train,
Yeah. Well, anyway, Marconi's eyes are red as fuck.
Yeah, I'm high as fuck. I wouldn't drive now, probably. Sometimes it takes a little while.
Absolutely. No, I'm good.
I
wouldn't necessarily. I'm
Hang
not
on,
driving.
let me give one goodbye to Bokes. What's he saying over there?
No, he said the shout out to Baby Fame.
Oh, shout out, Baby
And see, again, in front of the fucking camera. Jesus Christ.
It's like an early podcast.
Holy fuck!
It's our first live stream.
Yeah, but you know not to stand in front of the camera.
I also cleaned my ears out today. I wanted the camera to see.
Marconi earwax. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning into the show. I'm super fucking high, which is nice. But again, just because
we started talking about marijuana in Canada, and then
we talked business.
Ended up talking business, but I'm glad you brought that up, because it's an
I brought
thing.
it.
A lot of people feel stuck right now. They're in shitty dead end jobs.
That's what I kind of said that, because people have. They are sort of in that position where they don't like the job. I'm the boss now, it's tremendous. But people are in positions where they're working a shitty job for like shitty pay, and even $15. I started at Gin Tech for $9.75.
$6.85.
Jesus Christ, and that's only, and we're only 3 years apart.
Man, I was there.
Holy
I was at that
fuck.
store for 8 years. Started at $6.85, ended at $11 an hour.
$11
after 8 years, between 14 and 22 years old.
That's like a pension.
That's
like showing how the company appreciates you.
That's what company loyalty gets you.
Holy shit.
You have to, and I had no idea how to negotiate a raise or any of that, right? Like I came across all that info when I was researching info for another book that I was working on that actually never got done. But now that I know about ebooks, it's gonna get republished probably.
You gonna finish that up?
So yeah, I learned how to fucking finish what up?
The book.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ! Marco smokes a little bit of weed and he's losing track. Holy fuck. No, I'm not paying attention.
No, I learned about that shit from doing research for a book. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. You got to leverage different positions to get more value or create more value for your employer. So that's when I started jumping from, like, I did, I think, 6 different companies: Old Dutch, Coca-Cola, Lowe's, Planet Organic, Sobeys, all just leveraging positions and skills. And I started at $13 an hour at Coca-Cola, and then ended up at, after I quit Sobeys after 2 weeks, they offered me $65,000 to stay, plus benefits, car, a couple other things.
Fuck Sobeys.
Yeah, which was a huge amount of money to me at the time.
Yeah,
and
it's still a huge.
Oh, now it's nothing.
Well,
that's
to one of
a few
us.
months operating expenses. But yeah, I turned that down to take pretty much half of that salary, because I was sick of being in grocery stores. I wanted to do what I love, and I knew I was applying for jobs on the side but wasn't getting anywhere. So 2 weeks into Sobeys, after that, starting that new job there, just quit one single day. I was like, nope, this isn't working. I've got no savings. But I knew unless my back was against the wall, there was no way I was going to get into journalism. So I put my back against the wall, applied to like 35 places in a week. Like a week and a half after that, I was in high level. And then with the skills to know how to grow and free up your time. That's like, it's not the ultimate end goal, but it's a major end goal, is to be able to it's the best part, is being able to wake up with the freedom, as Kevin O'Leary would say, to do whatever you
Mr.
like.
Wonderful, of course.
You know?
Now, I do have to say that money does buy happiness. Whoever says that's not true. Like, are you fucking out of your mind? Money buys freedom, which equals the freedom to do whatever you want, which equals happiness.
Not necessarily, but it's more, you're
more so.
Yeah, there's a certain threshold. I think they say is once you make over, I think it was something like $70,000 a year, money doesn't statistically make you any happier. But obviously you can't tell someone that's, in a position where they're, slaving away like 14 hours a day for like minimum wage and not able to support their kids and whatnot, that's the...
Should go have an abortion or something.
We gotta wrap this up, man.
So baked. Yeah, fuck. What were you gonna say though? We'll wrap it up on what your note, and then I'll do plugs. And
I don't remember what I was talking about.
You're talking about kids, and I made an abortion joke. Because why wouldn't I? Oh, fucking high. I don't know.
All right.
Whatever. Follow Marconi on LinkedIn, because
I post regularly.
Because random Asian businesses will give us, messages about, hey, do you want to be a dealer with aluminum factory or something like that? Fuck, it's just scams and shit. But and then Marconi at Matt Marconi on Twitter. When was the last time you used Twitter, Marconi?
I told you I don't want anyone to follow me. I'm getting away from all this stuff.
Yeah, he's going to Thailand.
When I started, it was like, yeah, contact me all the time. I'm available anytime. Businessman looking after his customers. Call me anytime. Well, that was a mistake. Now you want to get a hold of me, it's got to be through email. I'm looking forward to stepping back completely.
You just want email.
Matt Marconi never existed.
Well, if you die in Thailand, go on a cave adventure. But no, yeah, and then you're going to Thailand. Is this going to be the last show that you think you'll do before you go to Thailand, or
Probably not.
how many weeks do we have left?
Couple, two.
It's Wednesday now. Okay. So yeah, we'll get another show like this maybe in. And like we know the green screen's not on, by the way. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, we're sitting. No, it's a chill sort of. This is kind of like the inaugural podcast, and it's not like on the 17th. And when was the election in 2015? Because that's when the election was, right? So I think it was around October, like mid-October. So around like this time, that's how long it takes shit to get done in government. Everybody, that's how fucking long it takes. That's from when he said, "Oh, we're going to legalize marijuana," when he got elected to now is 3 years. So that's fucking government for you.
It's like Usain Bolt speed for most government actions. Usually takes even longer.
Well, that's something. Fuck, they could sure bring in those refugees awful quick, couldn't they, Marconi? Without helping people in northern communities. But anyway, shout out Liberty Multimedia, Maskell Podcasting Network on iTunes. This is available on it'll be available on the Liberty. I guess, will we throw this up on the website, up on YouTube? I guess too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we'll throw this up on YouTube, and yeah, people want to start their own business, just fucking do it. Because I'm nervous as fuck with doing it anyway, but it's worth it being your own boss, and you just have to be motivated. And we all have those off days where you don't feel motivated, but then you just have to.
Yeah, you're not gonna feel motivated all the time. It's not like I said. It's not even a question of motivation. It's just small steps, and just. There's two things: create a vision for yourself, figure out what it is that you want, and create a counter vision for yourself. What happens if I don't act? What happens if I don't start a business? What happens if I don't learn how to hustle my skills up? I'd be here forever. What if I get let go? Fuck. Like think of the consequences of inaction, because sometimes it's easy to push things off and be like, yeah, no, it's not a big deal. But there's huge consequences to not acting. So if it's something you want, yeah, get into her.
Don't be a pussy. Just try it out. I love. I want to end on this one.
That's like the 10th time we've said that. Probably.
Well, it's because we're fucking high, Marconi. We only were gonna.
Usually the laptop's right there. We can.
Yeah, but we were only gonna do a half hour. But it's been like we did like a regular show. We did at least an hour. I think that's like an hour 7. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to probably get glasses, but whatever. But sacrifice, because there's a lot of people that have sacrificed things. Like I sacrifice a lot. I'm out here. I'm doing journalism stuff. I'm doing the multimedia stuff. But there's people that aren't realizing like you have to like fucking sometimes sacrifice a few things to be able to like be successful. Like I have a friend who keeps telling me to get that fucking Call of Duty Black Ops game. I'm not gonna buy it. It's just another distraction. Why do I need it? Oh, I don't fucking even play video games a lot anyway. But, you gotta make some sacrifices. So put in the work, put in the time, and don't be a pussy, I guess. And Maskell91, of course, on Twitter.
Can't believe they haven't taken your account yet.
I stopped saying things on Twitter that I used to say. So
pull out some of those ones from back in 2000.
Oh, one was 2014 when I said I did a shout out for in Hot Water, of course, with Gino Bisconti and Aaron Berg on compoundmedia.com. Essentially, it was ISIS faggot, and I said something about the Pulse nightclub shooting. It was the anniversary, and that was in like whenever it was. I made the comment, and then all this time, like 2 or 3 years later, fucking they took all, they locked my account and told me to delete the tweet, and then they unlocked my account. And so I figured that's the only one, because I don't say anything anymore. Really, I've backed right off.
They got you too, eh?
Well, it's just because
sucks.
I still want to like do. I guess I still want to do. I connected with a lot of people on Twitter. I don't want to just fucking lose that because I like to say cunt or call people cunts on on the internet. So it was mostly Kathleen Wynne anyway, and really anybody in Ontario, they couldn't fucking blame me. But yeah, no, I really pulled back, and it's pretty well just on the podcast. I say things because I figured that's my platform. If people don't want to read it, fine, don't read it. I'll still make jokes and stuff, but I won't go as hard I won't at people anymore, because before it was kind of like I was kind of looking for that confrontation, and now I don't want to get banned, so I just don't even bother looking for that confrontation.
Yeah, that's useless task.
Yeah, but anyway, Masco91 Twitter, and till next time. I guess and it's hard for these live streams because it just ends with me walking off and Marconi sitting there stoned and awkward.
That's not true. I was gonna actually stand up and then look very deep into the camera.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Marconi up close. Nobody wants to see that. Okay. Peace and love.